Hey, English learners! Welcome back to Jay and May English Podcast. Today we're talking about something that will completely change how you think about learning English. I'm May.
And I'm Mr. J. Welcome, everyone.
Mr. J, what if I told you you don't need thousands of words to speak English confidently?
Oh, May, I love that you said that because honestly, that one idea right there, it saved my life. Well, my English life.
Your English life. Okay, Mr. J, we have to talk about this because so many learners feel like they need to memorize 10,000 words before they can even open their mouth.
Right. And that feeling, that I'm not ready yet feeling, it keeps people silent for years, May. I've seen it.
So today's topic is how to speak English with just 500 words. And honestly, this might be the most freeing episode we've ever done.
It really might be, because this topic isn't just about words. It's about confidence. It's about breaking free from that fear of not knowing enough.
And whether you're a total beginner or you've been studying for years but still feel stuck, this episode is for you. So glad you're here with us today.
Absolutely. And hey, if you stay with us until the end, you are going to walk away with a completely new strategy, one that makes real conversations possible starting today, not next month, today.
Ooh, I love that. Okay, Mr. J, let's go. But first, can I share something a little embarrassing?
Oh, please, yes, go ahead.
Okay, so when I first started learning English, I had this giant vocabulary book, like huge, and I thought if I just memorize all of these words, then I'll be ready to speak. And I studied and studied and studied.
And then what happened?
And then someone asked me, "Hey, do you want some coffee?" And I just froze. I forgot every single word.
Oh no, the coffee question got you.
The coffee question destroyed me, and I had studied for months.
You know, that story is so common, and it actually proves something really important. Having more words in your head does not automatically mean you can speak. Speaking is a different skill.
Wait, so knowing words and speaking words are two different things?
Exactly. Think of it like this. Imagine you have a huge toolbox, like hundreds of tools inside, but you don't know how to use any of them. That toolbox is useless, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's actually a really good way to think about it.
But now imagine you have just 5 tools, a hammer, a screwdriver, some tape, scissors, and a knife. And you know how to use all 5 perfectly. You can build so many things.
So it's better to really know a few words than to kind of know a lot of words.
Bingo. And here's the interesting part. Researchers actually studied this. They found that just 500 to 1,000 common words cover about 85% of daily conversation.
Wait, 85% from just 500 words?
85%. Things like, I want, can you help me, I don't understand, where is, how much. These simple patterns, they carry so much of daily English.
That's kind of shocking, actually, because I always thought fluency meant knowing rare, fancy words.
And that's the trap. So many learners chase difficult vocabulary, words they'll maybe use once a year, while ignoring the simple, powerful words they need every single day.
Okay, so, Mr. J, how did you figure all this out? Like, was there a moment for you?
Oh, there was definitely a moment. So this is actually a little funny. Years ago, I was traveling and I met this guy at a cafe, a local guy. His English was honestly very basic, like very simple words only.
Okay.
But this guy, he could communicate with anyone. He was laughing with tourists, giving directions, ordering food, making jokes. And I was sitting there thinking, how? How is he doing this? His vocabulary is tiny.
So, what was his secret?
I actually asked him, and he said something I never forgot. He said, I don't know big words, but I know how to say what I mean with small words.
Oh, I mean, that's kind of beautiful, actually.
Right? And that moment completely changed how I thought about language. It's not about impressing people with big words. It's about connecting with people using any words.
Connecting, not impressing. I love that.
Write that down, everyone. Connecting, not impressing.
Okay, but Mr. J, let's get practical because I think some listeners are wondering, okay, great, but which 500 words? Like, where do I start?
Great question. So think about your life. Think about the conversations you have every single day. What do you talk about most?
Food, work, plans, feelings, asking for help?
Perfect. Those are your categories. You want to build your 500 words around your real life, not some random word list from a textbook.
You mean like my personal vocabulary?
Exactly. A doctor needs different words than a student. A traveler needs different words than someone working in an office. So first, ask yourself, what do I actually need to talk about?
Okay, that makes so much sense. So it's kind of like packing a suitcase for a trip. You pack what you need, not everything in your closet.
Oh, I love that. Yes. Pack what you need. Don't bring your whole house.
Okay, good. So personal vocabulary first. What's next?
Next, and this is where things change, you learn to stretch your words. This is the real magic of speaking with fewer words.
Stretching. You mean like yoga for vocabulary?
Kind of, yes. Vocabulary yoga. So here's what I mean. Let's say you don't know the word exhausted. You know what? That's fine. You can say very, very tired, or even I feel like I can't move.
Oh, so you describe the feeling with simple words instead of using the exact word.
Right, you go around the word. We call this circumlocution, but don't worry about that term. Just remember, describe it, don't search for it.
Okay, wait, circumlocution. That's a big word. You mean like talking around something?
Exactly like that. You talk around the word you don't know. The thing you use to, it's like a, but smaller. You know, that feeling when?
Oh my gosh, I do this all the time and I didn't even know it had a name.
Everyone does it. Even native speakers do it. The difference is learners feel embarrassed when they do it, and native speakers just do it naturally.
So we should stop being embarrassed about describing words?
Stop being embarrassed, start being creative. That's a huge mindset shift right there.
Okay, I want to ask about something because I think a lot of listeners feel this way. What about grammar? Like, can you really have a good conversation if your grammar isn't perfect?
Oh, okay. To be honest, this might be a little controversial, but grammar is much less important than people think. For speaking.
Wait, really?
For speaking, yes. Think about this. If I say, yesterday I go to the store, is it grammatically perfect? No. But do you understand me?
Yeah, completely.
Right. Communication happened. The message arrived. That's what matters in a real conversation. Now, writing is different. Professional settings are different. But for speaking, getting your message across is the goal.
So, grammar is like the nice decoration on a cake, but the cake, the communication, that's what really matters.
Oh, I love that so much. Yes, the cake is the communication. The grammar is the frosting. Nice to have, but you can still eat the cake without it.
Okay, so this is kind of freeing. So, we don't need to be perfect, we just need to be understood.
Understood and confident. Because here's the thing, when you speak with confidence, people focus on your message, not your mistakes.
You know, I never thought about it that way. When someone speaks confidently, I do kind of just follow the energy and understand them.
Exactly. Confidence is like a volume button for your words. Turn it up, people hear you better.
Okay, wait, I want to go back to something you said about stretching words. Can you give more examples? Because I think that's really practical.
Sure. Okay, so imagine you're at a restaurant. You don't know the word for a specific dish. What do you do?
Panic.
Option 1, panic. Option 2, describe it. I want the chicken thing with the sauce, and it's a little spicy. The waiter will understand you.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that actually works.
Or imagine you're trying to say traffic jam. You don't know that phrase. You can say, there were too many cars and nobody was moving. Perfect. Message delivered.
Okay, this is so practical. You don't need the exact word, you just need the right idea in simple words.
Right idea, simple words, confident voice. That's the formula.
Okay, I want to ask about something really specific because I know a lot of our listeners feel this. What do you do when your mind goes completely blank mid-conversation? Like you're talking and suddenly nothing, empty.
Ah, this one. Okay. You won't believe what I used to do when this happened to me.
What? What did you do?
I would just pretend I had to cough. Like, oh, excuse me, and then use those 2 seconds to remember my words.
No, you didn't.
I did. I absolutely did, many times. But here's the actual good advice. Have filler phrases ready, little sentences you can say while your brain catches up.
Like what?
Things like, that's a good question. Let me think for a second. How do I explain this? You know what I mean? These phrases buy you time and they sound totally natural.
Oh, so instead of going silent and looking panicked, you just keep talking with these little phrases.
Right. Your mouth keeps moving, your brain catches up, nobody knows you were lost for a second.
This is so good. It's like keeping the engine running even when you're not going anywhere yet.
Perfect analogy. Keep the engine running.
Okay, Mr. J, I want to ask about something that I think is a big block for a lot of people pronunciation. Because some learners think, even if I know the words, people won't understand my accent.
Ah, okay. This is a big one, and I feel strongly about this. Your accent is not a problem. Let me say that again. Your accent is not a problem.
But some people do struggle to be understood, right?
The issue is usually not accent. It's clarity, it's speed, it's confidence. When people speak too fast, too quietly, or swallow their words, that's when understanding breaks down, not because of where they're from.
You mean like if I speak clearly and a little slower, people will understand me even with my accent?
100%. You know, I've heard people with very strong accents communicate beautifully because they speak clearly and they take their time. And I've heard people with perfect accents be completely confusing because they mumble and rush.
Wow, so clarity over perfection.
Clarity over perfection, every time.
Okay, this episode is genuinely changing my thinking.
Good, that's the goal. And here's one more thing I want to say about the 500-word idea. Because some people hear 500 words and they think, oh, so I should stop learning new words?
Oh, yeah, is that what it means?
No, no, no. It means start using what you have first. Don't wait. Don't say, I'll speak when my English is better. Use your 500 words now. Get comfortable. Get confident. And naturally, as you use English more, your vocabulary will grow on its own.
Oh, so it's like you start walking and the road gets longer as you walk. You don't wait for the full road to appear before you take a step.
Okay, that might be the best thing anyone has ever said on this podcast.
Really?
I'm serious. You start walking and the road gets longer. That's it. That's English learning.
Okay, I'm putting that on a poster. All right, let's do our vocabulary moment because we used some really great phrases today.
Let's do it.
Okay, first phrase, talk around something. Mr. J, you said this when you explained circumlocution.
Right. Talk around something means to describe or explain something without using the exact word. Example, I talked around the word I forgot and the person still understood me. Simple and super useful.
Love it. Okay, second phrase, go blank. You said your mind goes blank.
Go blank means your mind suddenly becomes empty, like a white screen. Example, I went completely blank during the interview. Everyone has felt this.
Oh, definitely. Okay, third one. Buy time. You said filler phrases buy you time.
Yes, buy time means to do something that gives you a little extra time to think or prepare. Example, I said, that's a great question, to buy time before answering. Very natural, very common.
Great. Fourth phrase, keep the engine running. This was my analogy, but I love it.
Yes, keep the engine running means to keep going, keep active, even when you're not fully ready yet. Example, even when I didn't have the perfect words, I kept the engine running and finished my conversation.
And our fifth phrase, clarity over perfection.
Such an important one. Clarity over perfection means being clear and understanding is more important than being perfect. Example, I made a grammar mistake, but I focused on clarity over perfection and people understood me perfectly.
Amazing. Okay, recap time. Let me summarize what I learned today, and Mr. J, please jump in if I miss anything.
Ready.
Okay, so first big lesson. You don't need thousands of words to speak English. Just 500 well-used words can carry 85% of your daily conversations.
Exactly right.
Second, it's better to really know a few words than to kind of know a lot of words. Like the toolbox. 5 tools you can use beats 100 tools you can't.
Perfect. And that's the trap so many learners fall into.
Third, learn your vocabulary. Build your word list around your real life, not some random textbook.
Right. Make it personal. Make it useful.
Fourth, stretch your words. Describe what you mean if you don't know the exact word. Talk around it. Be creative.
That's the real skill right there. That's what confident speakers do.
Fifth, grammar mistakes are okay. Communication is the goal. The cake matters more than the frosting.
I'm so happy that analogy landed.
Sixth, use filler phrases when your mind goes blank. Keep the engine running.
Good point. And those phrases sound totally natural. Even native speakers use them.
And seventh, your accent is not a problem. Clarity is what matters. Speak clearly, take your time, and people will understand you.
You nailed it, May. Every single point.
And finally, start now. Don't wait for perfect English. Start walking and the road gets longer.
And that is the whole lesson right there. I just want to add one final thought. The most fluent English speakers in the world, they all started somewhere with simple words. Nobody was born speaking English perfectly. Every single person started with the basics and practiced their way up. So your simple words today are the foundation of your fluent English tomorrow. Don't be ashamed of where you are. Be proud that you're moving.
Aw, that's so good, Mr. J.
Start with what you have. Use it boldly. That's it.
Okay, before we go, we have a question for you, our amazing listeners. We want to know, what is one topic or situation where you wish you could speak English more confidently? Is it at work? Traveling? With new friends? Tell us in the comments. We read every single one.
We really do. And your comment might become our next episode topic, so don't be shy.
And hey, if today's episode helped you, gave you a new idea, or made you feel a little more confident, please subscribe to Jay and May English Podcast. We drop a new episode every single day.
Every single day. So hit that subscribe button and we will be here tomorrow with something new.
Until next time, keep speaking, keep growing.
And remember, you don't need perfect English. You need real English. We'll see you tomorrow.